one day I was driving home from work and I came up to a stoplight on the way home, and there's a BMW M5 next to me that rolls up. If you don't know what a BMW M5 is, it's a very fast sports car. And my windows were down, so when the light turned green and it flew by me, I heard a lot of different sounds coming from that engine. And I didn't really know what most of these sounds were, so when I went home and researched these sounds, I was very intrigued. Now I want to hopefully pass on some of this knowledge to you in this video as we talk about the internal combustion engine. So most of us drive cars every day, but we don't really know how they work. We press the gas pedal and they go forward, or at least we hope they go forward. So today I'll try and explain some of the inner workings of the engine, put it in a simple way so that you can understand some of the basics about how a car moves and what makes it move. Now, since my freshman year, I've driven a lot of different types of cars, from Corvettes to really fast Teslas, and also some really slow boring commuter cars. So over that time, I've really gained a lot of knowledge that I think would be useful for any person, no matter who you are, to learn about, just so that next time when you drive your car, you just have a simpler and maybe better understanding of what actually goes on when you press that gas pedal to move. Now, in an engine there's a lot of parts, but the first part we're going to be talking about is the air intake. Now the air intake is that big black box over there. It takes air, like how your lungs take in air, and it goes into the engine. Now inside the engine there are pistons and cylinders. Now a lot of times you'll hear someone say that they got a V6 or a V8 or a 4-cylinder. That's just referring to how many cylinders are in the car. So if you look closely, you can see that there's 6 cylinders in this car. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the more cylinders you have, the more powerful your car can be. But in this instance, this car has 6 cylinders. So what does that all mean? Well, the air gets pushed into that cylinder, and then it mixes with gasoline, which then combusts. Now, if you want to learn more about combusting, visit Motor Trend's website on how a V8 engine works. But basically, when a V8 engine, or any engine for that matter, combusts, the air and gas mix together and then is lit on fire, which creates a explosion by a spark plug. On top of the cylinder. And this explosion happens in a very confined and small space, so it creates a lot of force on the piston, a lot of downward force on the piston. So all that force has to be harnessed and used and connected to something. So as the pistons in the engine are going up and down, it's connected to a crankshaft, which is a small metal tube or pipe underneath that engine that's spinning and rotating. It rotates because the pistons are going up and down in a V shape. That's why it's called a V engine or a V6 or a V8. Because if you look closely, there's a V. It's like right here and right here. That's the V shape of the engine. The cylinders are right here. If you look at that big gray block.
This engine, known as a V8, has 2 banks of 4 cylinders each, driving a common crankshaft.
But as that crankshaft spins, it's connected to what's called a driveshaft. Now, a driveshaft is a much bigger metal tube. And sometimes if you look underneath big commercial trucks or pickup trucks, you can kind of see it because it's really exposed. But it's a big metal tube that spins. Spinning is then created and transferred to the wheels. Now the wheels spin by a horizontal axle, which is like another drive shaft, but it's horizontal to the car. The drive shaft is vertical and the axle is horizontal, but it's connected and transformed by a gear. Now that's a lot more complicated, but all you really need to know is that the drive shaft spins and the wheels spin because the wheels are connected to the drive shaft. So how does that all happen? Well, like we said earlier, the force is created by gasoline combusting. Now, if you want to learn more about gasoline and how it reacts to different chemicals and how it makes your engine make power, you can go ahead and look at Science Garage's video on gasoline and how it works on YouTube. YouTube. But for simpler demonstration, basically it happens in the piston and it combines with air and it explodes. And all that force goes somewhere. It goes to that crankshaft like we talked about. And that force from the piston forces the crankshaft to spin, and then it forces the drive shaft to spin also, which then is connected to the wheels, and then that's how the wheels move. But if you want to learn more about force, you can visit the U.S. government's website of efficient energy and renewable energy. So basically that's a quick rundown of how an engine works and how gasoline is used in cars to make it combustion, and pistons go up and down to spin the crankshaft and the drive shaft and then the wheels. So hopefully next time you hop in your car and you press that gas pedal, you know a little bit more about what actually is going on inside that engine as you move forward. So until next time, thank you.